மிஸ்டர் கோல்ட் சன்ஃப்ளவர் ஆயில் அளவிலும் தரத்திலும் நோ காம்ப்ரமைஸ்.
பேருந்து முனையத்தை திறந்து வைக்க வருகை தரும் தமிழக முதலமைச்சரை வருக வருக என அன்புடன் வரவேற்கும் பெரம்பலூர் எம்பி அருண் நேரு. ஊடக வரலாற்றில் முதன்முறையாக IBC பக்தி விருதுகள் 2024 பிரம்மாண்ட பக்தி திருவிழா. அனுமதி இலவசம்.
Do switch off your mobile phones before I begin. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you to this press briefing by Foreign Secretary Shri Vikram Mishri on the ongoing developments around Operation Sindoor. We are also joined by Colonel Sophia Qureshi and Wing Commander Vyomika Singh. With that, I hand over the floor to Foreign Secretary. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Randeep. नमस्कार, गुड आफ्टरनून, आप सबका स्वागत है। और मैं सबसे पहले अनुरोध करूंगा कर्नल सोफिया कुरैशी से कि वो आपको आज तड़के सवेरे से हुई घटनाओं से अवगत कराएं। कर्नल कुरैशी।
थैंक यू सर। नमस्कार। 8 से 9 मई 2025 की मध्य रात्रि को पाकिस्तानी सेना ने सैन्य बुनियादी ढांचे को निशाना बनाने के इरादे से पूरी पश्चिमी सेना पर भारतीय वायु क्षेत्र का कई बार उल्लंघन किया। यही नहीं बल्कि पाकिस्तानी सेना ने नियंत्रण रेखा पर भारी कैलिबर वाले हथियारों से गोलीबारी भी की। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सीमा और नियंत्रण रेखा पर लेह से लेकर सरक्रीक तक 36 स्थानों पर 300 से 400 लगभग ड्रोनों का इस्तेमाल घुसपैठ का प्रयास करने के लिए किया गया। भारतीय सशस्त्र बलों ने काइनेटिक्स व नॉन काइनेटिक साधनों का उपयोग करके इनमें से कई ड्रोन्स को मार गिराया। इतने बड़े पैमाने पर हवाई घुसपैठों का संभावित उद्देश्य वायु रक्षा प्रणालियों का परीक्षण करना और खुफिया जानकारी इकट्ठा करना था। ड्रोन के मलबे की फोरेंसिक जांच की जा रही है। प्रारंभिक रिपोर्ट्स से पता चलता है कि वे तुर्की के असीस गार्ड सोंगर ड्रोन्स हैं। इसके उपरांत रात में पाकिस्तान के एक सशस्त्र UAV ने भटिंडा सैन्य स्टेशन को निशाना बनाने की कोशिश भी की, जिसे पकड़ा गया और उसे निष्क्रिय कर दिया गया। पाकिस्तानी हमले के जवाब में पाकिस्तान में 4 हवाई रक्षा स्थलों पर सशस्त्र ड्रोन्स लॉन्च किए गए। इनमें से एक ड्रोन AD रडार को नष्ट करने में सक्षम रहा। पाकिस्तान ने जम्मू कश्मीर के तंगधार, उरी, पुंछ, मेंढर, राजौरी, अखनूर और उधमपुर में भारी कैलिबर आर्टिलरी गन और सशस्त्र ड्रोन्स का उपयोग करके नियंत्रण रेखा के पार गोलीबारी भी की, जिसके परिणाम स्वरूप भारतीय सेना के कुछ जवान हताहत हुए और घायल हुए। भारतीय जवाबी कार्रवाई में पाकिस्तानी सेना को भी बड़ा नुकसान पहुंचाया गया। इसके अलावा पाकिस्तान का गैर जिम्मेदाराना व्यवहार फिर से सामने आया। 7 मई 2025 को रात 8:30 बजे एक असफल अकारण ड्रोन और मिसाइल हमला करने के बावजूद पाकिस्तान ने अपना नागरिक हवाई क्षेत्र बंद नहीं किया। पाकिस्तान अपने नागरिक विमानों को ढाल के रूप में इस्तेमाल कर रहा है, जबकि उसे अच्छी तरह से पता है कि भारत पर उसके हमले से हवाई रक्षा की तीव्र प्रतिक्रिया होगी। यह भारत और पाकिस्तान के बीच अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सीमा के पास उड़ान भरने वाले अंतर्राष्ट्रीय उड़ानों सहित नागरिक विमानों के लिए सुरक्षित नहीं है। यहाँ स्क्रीन शॉट में पंजाब सेक्टर में हाई एयर डिफेंस अलर्ट स्थिति के दौरान एप्लीकेशन फ्लाइट रडार 24 का डेटा दिखाया गया है। जैसा कि आप देख रहे हैं, यहाँ पर भारतीय पक्ष का हवाई क्षेत्र घोषित बंद के कारण नागरिक हवाई यातायात से पूरी तरह से रहित है। कराची और लाहौर के बीच के हवाई अड्डे मार्ग पर नागरिक एयरलाइंस उड़ान भर रही है। हाई अलर्ट किया गया है विमान फ्लाइनेस एविएशन का एयरबस 320, जैसा कि आप यहाँ देख रहे हैं, जो कि शाम को 5:50 दमम से शुरू हुआ और रात को 9:10 लाहौर में उतरा। ये सारा डिटेल्स आप यहाँ देख रहे हैं, ये डिटेल्स यहाँ लिखा हुआ है। कैन यू सी दिस? भारतीय वायुसेना ने अपनी प्रतिक्रिया में काफी संयम दिखाया और इस प्रकार अंतरराष्ट्रीय नागरिक विमान सेवा की सुरक्षा सुनिश्चित की। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।
So, good afternoon to you all. On the intervening night of 8th-9th May 2025, Pakistan military carried out multiple violations of Indian airspace along the entire western border with an intent to target military infrastructure. Pakistan military also resorted to firing of heavy caliber weapons along the line of control. Along the international border and line of control, drone intrusions were attempted from Leh to Sir Creek at 36 locations with approximately 300 to 400 drones. Indian Armed Forces brought down a number of these drones using kinetic and non-kinetic means. The possible purpose of these large-scale aerial intrusions were to test the AD systems and gather intelligence. Forensic examination of the drone debris is being undertaken. Preliminary reports suggest them to be of Aziz Guard Songa drone of Turkey. Later in the night, an armed UAV of Pakistan attempted to target Bhatinda military station, which was detected and neutralized. In response to the Pakistani attack, armed drones were launched at 4 air defense sites in Pakistan. One of the drones was able to destroy an AD radar. Pakistan also carried out artillery shelling across the line of control using heavy caliber artillery guns and armed drones at Tangdhar, Uri, Poonch, Mendhar, Rajouri, Akhnur and Udhampur in Jammu and Kashmir area, which resulted in some losses and injuries to Indian Army personnel. Pakistan Army also suffered major losses in Indian retaliatory fire. Additionally, Pakistan's irresponsible behavior again came to fore. Pakistan did not close its civil airspace despite it launching a failed unprovoked drone and missile attack on 7th May at 8:30 hours in the evening. Pakistan is using civil airliners as a shield, knowing fully well that its attack on India would elicit a swift air defense response. This is not safe for the unsuspecting civil airliners, including the international flights which were flying near IB between India and Pakistan. The screenshot we just showed and we shall share with you, it shows the data of the application Flight Radar 24 during a high air defense alert situation in the Punjab sector. As you have seen, the airspace on the Indian side is absolutely devoid of civil air traffic due to our declared closure. However, there are civil airlines flying the air route between Karachi and Lahore. Amongst the other civil aircraft that you can see, we have highlighted an aircraft which is Airbus 320 of Flynas Aviation, which was originated from Dammam at 1750 hours and landed later at Lahore at 2110 hours in the night. Indian Air Force demonstrated considerable restraint in its response, thus ensuring safety of international civil carrier.
Thank you, Colonel Qureshi, Wing Commander Singh. I have just a few points to share in addition. कल रात की पाकिस्तानी सेना की कायरतापूर्ण गतिविधियों से आपको कर्नल कुरैशी और विंग कमांडर सिंह ने पहले ही अवगत करा दिया गया है. These provocative and escalatory actions that were taken by Pakistan last night were targeted at Indian cities and civilian infrastructure, in addition to some military targets. The Indian Armed Forces responded proportionately, adequately, and responsibly. ये जो हमले हुए कल रात को भारतीय सैन्य इकाइयों ने पर्याप्त रूप से और एक जिम्मेदाराना रुख अपनाते हुए इन हरकतों का उत्तर दिया. What I want to underline is that the official and blatantly farcical denial of these attacks that Pakistan carried out by the Pakistani state machinery is yet another example of their duplicity and the new depths that they are plumbing in their quest for disinformation. The other point in the same vein is Pakistani claims that they did not target or attack any religious places. You would recall that yesterday I shared with you an incident related to the attack on a Gurdwara in Poonch. Instead of owning up to these attacks, Pakistan made the preposterous and outrageous claim that it was the Indian Armed Forces and the Indian Air Force that was targeting cities like Amritsar and trying to put the blame on Pakistan. This is nothing but a desperate attempt by Pakistan to disown its acts of aggression, but it is also true to type in its effort to deceive and mislead the world. It will not succeed. The Gurdwara in Poonch in particular was attacked by Pakistan, and some local members of the Sikh community, including a Ragi of the Gurdwara, lost their lives in this incident, as I shared yesterday. TV पर आप इस हमले के चित्र देख सकते हैं. In addition, that we would attack our own cities is the kind of deranged fantasy that only the Pakistani state can come up with. Perhaps they do it because they are well versed in such action, as their history would show. The last point I wanted to make this evening is again this disinformation that is coming from Pakistan about India targeting the Nankana Sahib Gurdwara through a drone attack. This is again yet another blatant lie and part of Pakistan's disinformation campaign. As we saw in the Pahalgam attack, Pakistan is again trying desperately to impart a communal hue to the situation with an intention to create discord. Again, we are not surprised. India's steadfast unity in itself is a challenge to Pakistan. Let me stop there. I have time only for a few questions and be happy to try and answer them.
First, I call Siddharth. Siddharth, please.
Hi, sir. I'm Siddharth from Beyond. So this is
Siddharth, behind, please.
The other Siddharth.
Yes. Hi, sir. I'm Siddhant from CNN News 18. Sir, I only want to know from you the status of Kartarpur corridor. Is it open or not? If you can.
I think you're all aware of the situation along the entire India-Pakistan border and the areas around the line of control. In view of the existing security scenario, the services of the Kartarpur Sahib corridor have been suspended till further directions. We'll update you as and when there is a change in the situation.
We have a question here. Rishabh.
So, good evening, Rishabh from Times Now. So, you spoke about religious places being hit in Jammu. There's another religious place which is a Carmelite nun church that has been hit. What do you have to say about it, if you can explain that to us?
Yeah, actually, we do have some information about this extremely regrettable and condemnable incident. During heavy shelling across the line of control in the early morning of 7th May, a shell fired from Pakistan landed just behind the Christ School run by the Carmelites of Mary Immaculate congregation in Poonch. Tragically, the shell fired from Pakistan hit the home of 2 students of the Christ School. Both students unfortunately lost their lives. and their parents were severely injured. Another Pakistani shell struck a Christian convent of nuns belonging to the Congregation of the Mother of Carmel, damaging water tanks and destroying solar panel infrastructure. Several priests, nuns, school staff, and local residents took refuge in an underground hall beneath the Christ School during the shelling by Pakistan. The school happened to be closed at the time, fortunately. Otherwise, more losses would have occurred. Again, we have seen the Pakistani side targeting and shelling places of worship with a particular design. This includes gurdwaras, these convents and temples. This is a new low even for Pakistan.
You have a question here, Pranay?
सर प्रणय उपाध्याय अमर उजाला से। सर कल आपने इसी पोडियम से पाकिस्तान के आईएमएफ बेलआउट को लेकर और इंडस वाटर ट्रीटी को लेकर जो टिप्पणी की थी उसकी पाकिस्तान में काफ़ी तीखी प्रतिक्रिया भी आई, और उसके बाद हमने देखा कि पाकिस्तान की तरफ से किस तरीके से लेह से लेकर भुज तक पूरी बॉर्डर के ऊपर जो इन्वेजन था वो किया गया। मौजूदा सिचुएशन के अंदर पाकिस्तान के बेलआउट पैकेज को लेकर और पाकिस्तान के इन अटेम्प्ट्स को लेकर आपका क्या असेसमेंट है? और दूसरा ये भी जानना चाहेंगे कि पाकिस्तान की तरफ से ये जो अटेम्प्ट किया गया था उसका भारत ने अभी तक उस तरीके का कोई जवाब नहीं दिया गया है, तो क्या भारत इसका जवाब देगा जो कार्रवाई हुई है बीते 24 घंटों में?
देखिए प्रणय, जहाँ तक इंडस वाटर्स ट्रीटी का सवाल है, मैंने कल विस्तार से उसके बारे में इसकी चर्चा की है. Indus Waters Treaty is in abeyance, and as such, I have nothing further to add to the decision that was announced by the Cabinet Committee on Security. जहाँ तक IMF bailout का सवाल है, आपको ज्ञान होगा कि IMF की आज मीटिंग हो रही है. हम वहाँ पे अपना पक्ष रखेंगे और जो हमारा मत है इन चीज़ों को लेके वहाँ पे साझा करेंगे दूसरे मेंबर्स के साथ. ये बोर्ड पे निर्भर है कि वहाँ पे क्या निर्णय होता है. और जहाँ तक जो कार्रवाई हुई है उसका जवाब देने का जो आपने जो प्रश्न उठाया है, जो आज ब्रीफिंग हुई है, जो आपको सूचना मिली है, मैंने भी कहा है कि जो आज सवेरे तड़के सवेरे जो गतिविधियां हुई, भारत ने उनका एक जिम्मेदाराना पूर्ण तरीके से और एक पर्याप्त तरीके से उसका जवाब दे दिया है.
सिद्धांत.
Hi sir, Siddhant from Beyond. Sir, the External Affairs Minister has spoken to many of his counterparts around the world. Yesterday he spoke to the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio. So what were the key areas of conversations during that call?
Yes, the minister had a conversation with the US Secretary of State. As you can imagine, the focus of discussions was the terrorist attack in Pahalgam and the response that India mounted after that on the 7th of May. The Secretary of State shared his thoughts on these developments with the minister. The minister deeply appreciated the US's commitment to work with India in the fight against terrorism, and he also underlined the targeted measures that India had taken in connection with Op Sindoor. The minister also underlined that India would firmly counter any attempts at escalation from there. But in follow-up to that, as you are aware, there have been a number of other conversations. The minister had a conversation with the UK Foreign Secretary, David Lammy, today. There too, the discussion centered around countering terrorism, for which there must be zero tolerance. And I understand just a short while ago, the External Affairs Minister has also spoken to the Foreign Minister of Norway, Espen Barth Eide, which was also focused on recent developments stemming from the terrorist act in Pahalgam.
One last question, Sudhi.
Sir, Foreign Secretary, thank you for doing this. Sudhi Ranjan from Bloomberg. Foreign Secretary, India had struck Bahawalpur the other day, which is also connected with the murder of one of us, journalist Daniel Pearl. If you could give us an understanding of what exactly are the reports that you're getting.
You're right. Bahawalpur is the headquarters of the Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorist group that is proscribed by the United Nations. Its leader, Maulana Masood Azhar, is a proscribed individual. It is, you brought up the connection with the tragic death or killing of Daniel Pearl of the Wall Street Journal. The Jaish-e-Mohammed was in some way directly or indirectly responsible for the death of Daniel Pearl. But the real connection is through Ahmed Omar Saeed Sheikh, the British Pakistani jihadi who was held in India but was finally released in 2000, and he was the person who lured Daniel Pearl to his eventually leading to his murder. So these are all obviously connected figures, connected individuals, connected institutions, and the attack on Bahawalpur, on that facility of the Jaish-e-Mohammed in Bahawalpur is, I would imagine, a fitting part of this unfortunate incident. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. With that, we come to the closure of this press briefing. Thank you very much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this special media briefing about the state visit of Honorable Rashtrapati Ji to Slovakia. And for this briefing, I have with me on the dais Sri Tanmay Lal, Secretary West, Ministry of External Affairs, Ms. Pooja Kapoor, Additional Secretary, Central Europe, Ministry of External Affairs, Ms. Apurva Srivastav, the Ambassador of India to Slovakia, and Sri Ajay Singh, the Press Secretary to the President of India. With that, now I request Secretary West to brief the media on the visit.
Thank you. Namaskar. This has been a historic state visit by President Draupadi Murmu. It has been historic because it is taking place after a gap of nearly 30 years, and because of the strong commitment shown by both sides to take this partnership forward. I would just first run through some of the basic elements of the visit. The delegation led by Honorable President also included Minister of State for Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, Srimati Nimuben Bambaria, and two Honorable Members of Parliament, Shri Dhaval Patel and Srimati Sandhya Ray. A large business delegation also accompanied Honorable President, around 35 members. The President met the President of Slovak Republic, His Excellency Peter Pellegrini, Prime Minister Mr. Robert Fico, the Speaker of the Parliament, among the various dignitaries. There were two MOUs that were signed during the visit. Business forum was hosted. The program also included a visit to the Tata Jaguar Land Rover manufacturing plant in Nitra, the city of Nitra. The President was also conferred an honorary doctorate by the university, Constantine the Philosopher University, based in Nitra, and she will shortly be meeting members of the Indian community. In terms of the details of the program elements, yesterday in the morning, a ceremonial welcome was accorded to President Murmu. A guard of honor was presented. This was followed by a tete-a-tete meeting between the two presidents, and then the delegation level talks. The two leaders also witnessed the exchange of two memoranda of understanding. One of the MOUs is between the Sushma Swaraj Foreign Service Institute of India and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Slovakia. The other one is regarding cooperation in the field of small and medium enterprises between the NSIDC and the business Slovakia. The two leaders also delivered press statements yesterday. In the evening, this was the President of Slovakia hosted a state banquet in honor of President Murmu. Earlier today, the President of Slovak Republic also, he and our President jointly addressed the business forum, which was hosted at the Foreign Ministry, where the business delegation from the FICCI was there, along with the Slovak business persons. Later in the afternoon, the delegation had traveled to the historic city of Nitra, which is around 100 kilometers from Bratislava, where at the Constantine University, President Murmu was conferred honorary doctorate. It was a beautiful ceremony where President Pellegrini was also present. After that, the two leaders traveled to the Tata Jaguar Land Rover manufacturing plant, which is situated nearby. And the President then had a round of the manufacturing plant, and where she also met the management and the workers and the staff over there, which also include a very large number of Indian workers and professionals. This was followed by a special tree planting ceremony where the two presidents planted a linden tree, which is the national tree of Slovak Republic, in a public park, where the mayor of the city of Nitra, Mr. Marek Hatas, was also present. During the tree planting ceremony, President Murmu spoke about the initiative of Prime Minister Modi, which is the Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam initiative. She described the initiative to the President of Slovak Republic, who said that, who found this very interesting and remarked that Slovakia too could consider undertaking such an initiative. Earlier at the ceremony for conferring the honorary doctorate, President of Slovak Republic, His Excellency Pellegrini, mentioned in his remarks about how India was transforming into a modern nation, which was also simultaneously honoring its rich and millennia-old tradition, and that it represents a civilizational leap forward. The visit had a strong business element, as I mentioned. If we look at the economic relations between India and Slovak Republic, trade has been growing rapidly. Over the last 5 years or so, the trade has tripled, and now it is in the range of 1.3 billion euros. There are investment both ways. The Tata Group investment in the automotive sector in Slovakia is a very large investment, again in the range of around 1.3 to 4 billion euros. There are also investment in other sectors such as steel. And similarly, the Slovakian businesses have also invested in India in various sectors such as railways, defense, biofuel, and so on. There is also cooperation in emerging technology spheres and other spheres such as the space, AI, digital, and there was discussion on how we could explore further opportunities in sectors like cybersecurity and artificial intelligence. The partnership also has a strong element of talent and talent mobility. Now there are around 6,000 Indians living and working in Slovakia, which includes students, professionals, and other workers. There is a strong and growing element of cooperation in the field of education and research. Health and wellness was discussed as one of the areas of cooperation. Tourism is growing between our countries. This is another area where the leaders had discussed further cooperation. If we look at the last 2 to 3 years, there have been around 5 ministerial interactions between the foreign ministers, but also the Slovak Minister of Finance, who had visited India along with a large business delegation. There have been 2 large business delegations from the Slovak Republic to India in recent times, and currently there is a big Indian business delegation which is visiting Slovakia. During the discussions, President also thanked the Slovak government and people for their help during the evacuation of Indian students from Ukraine under Ganga a couple of years back. The India-Slovakia partnership also has relevance for, and it contributes to the strengthening of the India-EU strategic partnership. And our countries also collaborate and cooperate on a number of global issues in the various multilateral fora, including the United Nations. The Slovak leader, the president, he reiterated Slovakia's support for the permanent membership of the UN Security Council, and President Murmu expressed her deep appreciation for this position of Slovakia. There are strong cultural affinities between our 2 countries. One of the recent developments has been the translation of Upanishads into Slovak language by a Slovak scholar, Mr. Robert Garfik. There was discussion also on possible cooperation in the field of cinema. During the visit to the Parliament, there was a discussion on how there should be greater parliamentary exchanges and how they help in developing greater mutual understanding. An interesting and unique event was earlier today when there was an art exhibition of paintings done on Indian themes by Slovak children, and that was much appreciated. There was also a Ramayana puppet show curated by a Slovak group where a large number of Slovak children enjoyed the puppet show in Slovak language, and President Murmu had also joined the show for some time. If we look at the India-Slovakia partnership, there is a huge goodwill among the political leaders, but also at the people-to-people level. There are high-level ongoing political exchanges, growing number of ministerial and other interactions. There are business delegations being exchanged in the recent years. Trade and investment is growing. There are other new areas of cooperation being explored, for example, digital technologies, artificial intelligence, cyber security, and other such areas. In fact, the first satellite produced by Slovakia had been launched a few years ago on an Indian rocket, PSLV. The tourism sector is also growing from both sides. So this has been really a landmark visit, a historic visit. It provides further momentum to this partnership, builds upon the traditional goodwill that has existed. There is, during the discussions, it was clear as to how much there is a commonality of views on various issues of global interest, how the two countries have shared values of democracy, diversity, and a number of other global values. There was a strong business push along with the political commitment, where areas of trade, investment, technology, talent, all were discussed as to how to take this cooperation further. A number of ongoing areas of cooperation ranging from automotive to steel, railways, biofuel, and defense. And as I mentioned, some new areas were discussed both in emerging technology but also in sectors like wellness and tourism and creative arts. The wider context of the partnership, both in terms of the India-EU strategic partnership, where we have negotiations ongoing for finalization of an FTA, and also a ministerial trade and technology council is working and discussing a number of important areas, but also the wider multilateral UN context. There was a good discussion on all these issues. There was also a great rapport and personal engagement between the leaders, especially the two presidents, in various meetings. We look forward to further close relationship evolving between India and Slovakia as a result of this visit. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The floor is open for questions. Jayanti.
Good evening, sir. Sir, I'm Jayanti from ED News. Sir, there was great emphasis on economic cooperation by both the presidents throughout the visit. How do we see collaboration on this front going forward for the two nations, like in terms of India-Slovakia ties, in terms of trade and investment?
Abhishek, if you can use the mic.
Sir, I am Abhishek from PTI. President talked about diversifying the trade baskets. So what new areas, can you little bit elaborate on that? What new areas that we are seeking trade exchanges?
And regarding the bilateral trade, it's clear that we have already achieved what it was set a few years after also. But even at that level, many of the business people were telling that potential is much, much higher. So 1.3 billion is not a figure that we should be contented with. So will we be revising the targets right now, and what can we expect? And second was Tata is a multinational in all its definitions as well. But several Indian business groups based in Bratislava, they were of the opinion that there are enough opportunities for the mid-sized companies to come in, which is currently not so active, because there seems to be a need for push for further awareness about Slovakia. That's what they suggested.
Okay. Habib, if you can give it here. Yeah, if you can introduce yourself.
Alex Patekash, news agency of the Slovak Republic. I would like to have one question about the UN. Mr. President Pellegrini supported India's permanent seat in the UN Security Council. Could maybe in the future Slovakia receive support from India about the non-permanent seat in UN Security Council in the future? Thank you.
So I think you can respond.
Okay. I think three of the questions basically relate to the economic sphere and specifically about the SMEs and their role in taking the trade investment forward. Yes, there is a focus on that. One of the MOUs that was signed was actually on how to promote these linkages through greater B2B interaction, trade exhibitions, delegations, visits, and so on. Participation in exhibitions, sector-specific exhibitions, and so on. That is an area where we need to work on, and that has obviously great potential. We also hope that the MOU that was signed between the NSIC and the Slovak business will also contribute to facilitating these exchanges. The trade figures have gone up. They are there is a very strong encouraging trend. As I mentioned, there is also the negotiations going on for the larger India-EU FTA, and that also will, as you would remember, in the recent visit of the College of Commissioners to India, led by the EC President, Ms. Ursula von der Leyen, the two leaders had decided that, had directed their teams to finalize the FTA before the end of this year. So that again will have a huge bearing on our individual bilateral trade with various European partners, including Slovakia. The Indian business delegation that is visiting here actually represents a wide range of sectors, for example, ranging from renewable energy to waste, water and waste management, Ayush, traditional medicine, IT, AI, automotive, also fintech. So there is an interest in a large number of areas. There is Slovakia has a long-standing tradition of engineering and manufacturing, so some of those areas will continue. As I mentioned, the Slovak companies are present in India in a number of sectors, including engineering, including railways, and so on. So we are very hopeful that the entire range of business sectors will continue to expand, and many of the newer emerging technology areas will also see collaboration in that. On the UN Security Council, the Slovak candidature for the non-permanent seat, if I understood correctly. Yes, this was mentioned, and I'm sure there'll be due consideration accorded to this proposal. And there was a discussion on a number of areas in the multilateral context. The collaboration is ongoing, and the election of various candidatures, etc., is part of that also. So that will continue.
Thank you, sir. This brings us to the end of this press briefing. Thank you, sir. Thanks, everyone. The briefing is over.
Thank you.
Mr. Gold Sunflower Oil. அளவிலும் தரத்திலும் no compromise.
பேருந்து முனையத்தை திறந்து வைக்க வருகை தரும் தமிழக முதலமைச்சரை வருக வருக என அன்புடன் வரவேற்கும் பெரம்பலூர் MP அருண் நேரு. ஊடக வரலாற்றில் முதன்முறையாக IBC பக்தி விருதுகள் 2024 பிரம்மாண்ட பக்தி திருவிழா. அனுமதி இலவசம்.